Big news today. We are launching Threads.
Meta just launched Threads, an app that the media has coined a Twitter killer. But is that really true? Or is it just a Twitter clone that will never gain market share? You might think this is a tale you've seen before. One company does something completely revolutionary and it sparks new demand. Demand for a product that before then never existed. Another company sees the opportunity and, well, up pops a new app, or burger chain, or drink company. But in this case, it's not that simple. Take TikTok, building an algorithm that causes 1 billion monthly users to doom scroll short form content. Content that at the same time is incredibly engaging but equally forgettable, placing you into an endless trance of swiping. Once consumers tasted this new type of content, there was a massive amount of demand that competitors could try and take. And so up popped Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. The problem is, it's not always easy to take. I mean, why would I switch away from TikTok and start using YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels if TikTok is already serving me the puppy compilations I'm desperate to see? By the time YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels were on the market and competing for people's attention, TikTok had established a massive community of both content consumers and creators. Videos originally posted on TikTok would surface weeks later on YouTube and Instagram. This led to people thinking, well, if I'm going to watch TikToks, I'll watch them on TikTok. This is a perfect example of a first mover advantage. TikTok established the product, built the customer base, and now it's difficult for competitors to enter the market. But what if all of a sudden changes were made to the platform that significantly reduced its appeal? What if, say, a billionaire bought the platform and started stripping it of the elements that made the platform successful to begin with? What if the platform's users started to doubt whether they'd be using it in 5 years' time? Well then, just maybe, these new platforms might have a serious chance. Before we can discuss what people are calling Meta's new Twitter killer, we need to recap on the events that led to Twitter being so vulnerable to this kind of an attack. Of course, it all starts with its sale to Elon Musk. In April 2022, Musk announced that he'd purchased 9.2% of Twitter's shares on the open market. Worried that he might try and perform a hostile takeover of the company, essentially using his purchasing power to take control, Twitter deployed a poison pill defense strategy. Essentially, the board of directors gave shareholders the right to purchase stock at a significantly discounted price if one person, Elon Musk, were to purchase more than 15% of the company's shares. So, a hostile takeover wasn't an option, which meant around the same time Musk placed an official bid of $44 billion to purchase the company. After a slew of attempts to either pull out of the deal or renegotiate, the deal went through and Elon posted this tweet. The deal was done. Elon was $44 billion lighter, and people were ready to see him, quote unquote, restore free speech. But here's what actually happened over the next 9 months. After firing Twitter's executives and laying off about half of the company's workforce, that'll be important later, he started by revamping Twitter Blue. Now, an $8 per month subscription provided your account with the Blue verified checkmark, previously used to, well, verify that an account was actually the famous person or company that it said it was. This allowed fake accounts to essentially pay to look legitimate, with one fake verified account causing a 4% drop in a pharmaceutical company's share price when they announced insulin would be given to the public for free. Another notable change included a ban on users linking to what Musk called prohibited platforms. Twitter support said, "We will no longer allow free promotion of certain social media platforms," which many criticized as being hypocritical given Musk's commitment to freedom of speech. After the backlash, this announcement was quickly reversed, with the link to the policy update returning a page not found error message. Musk tweeted, "My apologies, won't happen again," before posting a poll that asked whether he should step down as CEO. The result? Well, 57% said yes. By 2023, it hadn't gotten any better. In March, Elon estimated that the company was worth roughly $20 billion, or less than half of the price he had paid in the second half of 2022. The instability of the platform since Musk's acquisition led more than half of Twitter's top 1,000 advertisers to leave the platform. Vox reported that advertisers were concerned that Musk had turned Twitter into a place where people could post racist, sexist, or other harmful speech without much consequence. And now, just days before the launch of Meta's answer to Twitter, Twitter announced it would be limiting the number of tweets people can read, essentially putting a hard cap on users' access to the platform. If someone replies to you and you've hit your limit, you'll have to wait until tomorrow to see what they've said. To make matters worse, Twitter blocked accounts that weren't signed in from viewing the platform entirely, which completely limited the platform's usability. Those were just some of the big problems, with others including limiting API access for developers. And so after a 9-month roller coaster, what would happen if one of Twitter's biggest competitors released a Twitter clone that, well, actually worked as a functional platform?
I have to ask, there's rumors you might be working on a social network that's text-based that might be a competitor to Twitter. Is there something you could say about those rumors?
Rumors of an upcoming text-based platform by Meta leaked as early as March 2023. By June, Zuckerberg's appearance on the Lex Fridman podcast all but confirmed the world's suspicions.
For whatever reason, I feel like Twitter has not lived up to what I would have thought its full potential should be.
At first, it seemed as though Instagram was once again doing what they always do. Think Instagram Stories, a feature that now reports to produce 26.7% of Instagram's total revenue, was a clone of a popular feature from Snapchat. Then think Reels, a clear clone of TikTok, that now has over 2 billion monthly active users. I started the video saying it's difficult to take market share from the company who first launched a new product due to a first mover advantage, but it's clear that Instagram has already done that twice. So what makes them different? Well, the biggest challenge of taking market share from a competitor like Snapchat or TikTok is friction. There's serious friction for the user in switching over to another platform. But what if you already had those users on your platform? Instagram's ability to leverage their existing user base when launching new features is what makes them such a threat. Instagram has 2.35 billion monthly active users. Let that sink in. That means theoretically, they'd only need to convert like 20% of their users to Threads and they'd have a platform bigger than Twitter. The date was set for July 7. But with the negative PR Twitter generated by limiting users' access to their platform, Instagram knew Threads needed to go live now. There was no better time to launch a competitor to Twitter than in the days where its users could barely even use the platform. But it isn't simply Twitter's lack of usability that caused 30 million people to sign up in the first 24 hours. Meta deployed a number of strategies to push their new platform. The first, creating next to no friction when signing up. If you were a user of Instagram and wanted to experience Threads, you didn't need to do anything. Outside of downloading the app and launching it, it was pretty much all ready to go. Threads identified your previously signed in Instagram account and allowed you to copy-paste your profile picture, bio, and handle. Threads also allowed users to quickly follow all the same accounts they followed on Instagram. No email, no password, no friction meant within 30 seconds of choosing whether you wanted a public or private profile, you were converted to the new platform and reading Zuck's threads. Outside of Threads trending on Twitter and being covered by almost every news source, Meta further manufactured hype around the launch. One way you might have seen was with this badge that appeared on your Instagram account highlighting what number you were to sign up. Not only did creators start sharing their number, but it also acted as advertising for the platform across millions of Instagram pages. While you could hide the badge, by default it appeared and directly linked you to Threads. 30 million signups in 24 hours means millions of links on popular profiles sending people to the platform. And now finally, the most important element behind its initial success is its credibility as a platform. Upon instantly signing up, it feels weirdly normal. It feels like a platform that has been around for years. And while yes, that might be due to it being a clear clone of Twitter, It's also because it almost instantaneously was populated with verified accounts and names that you recognize. With each verified account that joined Threads, the platform gained credibility. It's almost like by signing up, these accounts were verifying that the platform itself was legitimate. Seeing massive creators, brands, and a flood of regular users all sharing content and commenting made the whole experience feel less like signing up to a new platform and more like being late to the party. Quite often, the brands themselves were still trying to figure out what Threads was, but the fact that they were there made the whole platform feel legitimate. Now, I don't want to give Zuck and Meta too much credit, because all these positives doesn't mean the launch went flawlessly. One of the biggest points of tension for users was the fact that this new app was another product from Meta, a tech giant with a terrible reputation for handling people's data. If you missed this graphic when downloading the app, it essentially shows the kinds of personal data Threads will be collecting in order to serve you targeted ads. Everything from financial data to browsing history to contacts. India Today released this graphic that compares data collection between Meta and Twitter. Key differences are highlighted in orange and include your physical address, health and fitness, and sensitive info like biometrics, sexual orientation, and ethnicity. You know what they say, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. The more intimately Meta understands you, the better they'll be able to target you with ads, and that's their ultimate goal. None of the over 30 million people that have already signed up are from the EU, as Meta is holding off the launch of Threads. They're concerned that their current data sharing principles might not comply with EU law. Another data concern is that once you've signed up, in order to delete your Threads account entirely, you need to delete your Instagram account, because now they're combined. As Mark Zuckerberg said,
I always thought that, Twitter should have 1 billion people using it.
He hopes Threads will be the Twitter replacement that finally does it. Elon has responded. Well, more accurately, his lawyer has. As Semaphore reported, Twitter is threatening legal action against Meta over its new text-based Twitter killer platform, accusing the social media giant of poaching former employees to create a copycat application. People were quick to point out the irony of this tweet of Elon's from back in 2022 that read, "I would like to apologize for firing these geniuses. Their immense talent will no doubt be of great use elsewhere." Well, it certainly seems your employees found a new job. While Elon himself hasn't commented on the launch of Threads, the now CEO of Twitter has said that Twitter is often imitated, but the community is irreplaceable. But the way I see it, what makes Threads a massive threat is the fact that it just seems to work. It offers unhappy users of Twitter another option equal to Twitter that doesn't feel like a small startup. It's live, it's ready to go, and populated with all of the brands and accounts you'd expect to find over on Twitter. And so that leaves us with this question. Do you think Twitter is irreplaceable, and what do you make of the launch of Threads? It certainly is the most serious competitor Twitter has seen in a long time. Thanks for watching.